Welcome my friends, this is Maniacal Incorporated, and this is Deck of Stabs, a deck builder from solo dev Gaming J. He's currently working his way through the book 1001 Games You Must Play Before You Die over on his channel, and he's taken a bit of a break to make a game of his own. In Deck of Stabs, every card is a weapon that has an energy cost, a damage value, and a plethora of effects. Some swords will give you armor, heavy hammers will stun the enemy, and daggers will apply poison. But this means that there are no block or utility cards. Every card is a weapon. The game clearly draws some influence from Slay the Spire, and the currently available characters, the Steel Hand and Blade Dancer, are both parallels of the Ironclad and the Silent, and some enemies will look familiar, like the thief that steals gold and runs after a few turns. One major difference from the deck builder norm is the orientation of the battles. Instead of the usual left to right setup, your character appears from the bottom of the screen and faces off against enemies aligned above them, and this introduces adjacency attacks. The simple axe mightn't do much damage for its energy cost, but it can hit enemies on either side of the target, and this makes it handy for cancelling out the dodge of a group of bees before going to town on them with larger attacks. After each combat you will receive experience points, and you'll be given the choice of adding a new card to your deck or selecting a piece of armor. As you level up on hitting certain XP thresholds, you'll unlock more armor slots, and the items you add here can have a major impact on your gameplay. Additional armor, HP regen, the ability to dodge attacks. These boons will look familiar to deck builder veterans, but you also get a bonus by collecting all of the items of a single set. You might be lucky enough to get the set bonus through card offers at the end of combat, or you might need to rely on shops to find the last pair of shoes that you need. Shops and rest areas are strewn throughout the generated map that makes up each act of the 3-act structure common to deck builders, but in Deck of Stabs, you're free to wander about the map as you wish. Where traditionally you are forced to move ever forward, here you can backtrack to your heart's content and make your way through the map as you choose. But after you fight a certain amount of combats, future enemies you face will get stronger. So you must choose between fighting as many combats as possible to maximize XP, or make your way through the map quickly while the enemies and end of act boss are still weak. A strong early build might lure you into overconfidence, battling enemies that grow progressively in strength instead of pushing on before they overwhelm you. And this very nearly happened to me on my Blade Dancer run. But if you progress too quickly, you will have neither the cards nor the armor slots to take on the dragon that lurks at the end of Act 3. The current demo has 2 playable characters with very unique playstyles. The Steel Hand starts with 1 extra energy to play the costly but heavy hitting attacks that they have, including stuns from hammers and axes that attack multiple enemies. The Blade Dancer has lots of low damage, zero cost attacks that poison, ignore enemy armor, or inflict wounds, allowing some weapons to deal more damage on the next attack. They play similarly to their Slay the Spire inspirations, but 3 more characters are coming in the full release, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the Hex Razor in action, a twisted sorcerer who curses foes and stabs corpses to fuel unholy power. Now, because there are no utility cards, there aren't any crazy convoluted strategies where you can deal infinite damage by manipulating the discard pile. Enemies have fairly low HP, deal low damage, and you'll never not be able to attack because you drew a whole hand of block cards, because those don't exist. Instead, you'll fill your deck with weapons that synergize to kill enemies quickly before the damage starts to stack. My winning Blade Dancer run was built on zero-cost weapons overwhelming weak enemies early on, which powered my shadow armor that gave me extra dodge for each kill. There was also a perk that I got late on after a level up, but I'm not fully sure how or if it was being applied. Overall, I really enjoyed Deck of Stabs. Combat is fast and straightforward, and the prioritization of weapon and armor synergies means that shopping is the same. Yet there is still a lot of depth on how you build your deck, what armor and perks you pick, and how you make your way through the open map. There's a link in the description to the Deck of Stabs demo. I'll be playing more of it and other Steam Next Fest offerings over on Twitch. Follow me there if you haven't already. Go check out Gaming J's channel as well, where he's also playing new and interesting games, including Spell Hack from friend of the channel Computer Dream, as well as posting on Deck of Stabs progress. Thank you for joining me, and until I see you again, try not to accidentally stab yourself in the deck.